up, book nerds? My name is Hillary and welcome to or welcome back to my channel. Today I am bringing you my wrap up of all the books that I read in the month of November, and I read quite a bit. I am so happy. There were some that were 5 stars, some that were not as good, and I'm hoping this next month will be better. But before we get into this video, don't forget to hit that like and that subscribe button with that notification bell. And yeah, so let's get right on into this video. The first book that I read this month was Honey Girl by Morgan Rogers. This book was okay for me. I was expecting more out of it. If you don't know what Honey Girl is about, it is about this girl, and her name's Grace, and she just completed her PhD in college, and she don't know what to do with her life because the program that she applied for, she doesn't feel comfortable working there. So her dad, who is a really top guy in the military, him and his wife sent her to Vegas as a graduation gift, and she got to take 2 friends with her. But while she was in Vegas, she ended up marrying a female, and she had no idea who this female was when she married her. And as she's having this freak out back home, she decides to go and visit her wife in New York and see how life is there. But like I said, this book was okay. I think I gave it like 3 stars, and yeah, I don't know if I'll keep it or get rid of it, but yeah, so that was my first book for this month. The next book that I read this month was one that I absolutely loved. I gave it 5 stars on Goodreads, and that book is Heartstopper Volume 3 by Alice Oseman. If you don't know what Heartstopper is about, I don't know where you have been. I have seen a lot of people talk about it on BookTube. I talked about it in a couple different videos. But Heartstopper is about Charlie and Nick, who are dating in high school. Charlie is fully outed at his school, and Nick is in a way kind of a closeted bisexual. And they end up dating, but in this volume they're going on a school trip to Paris, and Charlie is going through a lot of stuff, and that's all I want to say about this book because I feel like you don't need to go in knowing a whole bunch. But I will say, reading Volume 3 and then I'm going to read Volume 4, make sure you check for trigger warnings because there are some with these books. They talk about heavy topics in them. The next book that I got finished this month was one that I was hoping I would absolutely love, but ended up not really liking it, and I gave it a 3-star rating, and that book is Sign Here by Claudia Lux. I know this was her debut novel, so I will give her another chance of reading her books, but this one, I kind of got confused after a while reading it, and because there are so many points of views in this book. I understand I love multiple point of views, but this one almost had too many, and it got confusing here and there. But basically, this book is about the different levels in hell, and if you're on, I think it's the 5th or 6th level, then you get to go and make deals with humans, and if they sign this contract, then they are indebted to you for until they die, but you can make the contract where they die like sooner rather than later. But yeah, I gave this one 3 stars, and it was just okay for me. These next 2 books I did a reading vlog on, and I will link that in the eye up above. And those 2 books are It Ends With Us and It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover. I love these books. It Ends With Us was a reread for me, and I absolutely fell in love with this book again. And It Starts With Us is its prequel, which was amazing also. I understand how some people don't like this book because it does talk about abuse in it, but I think it's a hard topic to talk about, but I feel like it does need to be talked about in books. And the way she writes these books is so good, and you feel for Lily in these books when she's dealing with her abuser. And just seeing like her childhood in these books are so cute also. The next 2 books that I'm going to be talking about are ones that are part of a series, but I just started this series obviously this month. And those books are Evermore and Blue Moon, both by Alison Noel. I gave Evermore, I believe, a 3-star, and I gave Blue Moon a 2-star, I think, but I just don't think this series is for me, so I'm just going to end up getting rid of them. But if you don't know, Evermore is about a girl who's living with her aunt because her family died, and she ends up, after she wakes up from a coma of almost being dead, she finds out that she's kind of like a medium, and she can see her dead sister and talk, like read people's minds and all that. And then all of a sudden, Damon comes in the picture and just throws everything for a loop for her. But yeah, that's basically what this is about. This is an older YA series, and I figured why not give it a try, but yeah, I think I'm just going to end up getting rid of these books. The next book I'm going to talk about is one by an author that I absolutely love, but this book was okay, and I did not know this was a second book to a duology, but that is called At First Sight by Nicholas Sparks. This is about a couple who he falls in love with her at first sight, and she ends up getting pregnant, so he ends up moving all the way from New York to her small town. And you're seeing their relationship and the struggles that they go through. And I ended up crying with this book because it was so sad and it just broke my heart. This is an older Nicholas Sparks book, so if you know, he likes to make you cry at the end of his books, and this one did it for me. And it was just really good. And the last book I'm going to be talking about is one that I recently just got done reading, and I am going to be having a video for it coming out soon, and that book is Boyfriend Material by Alexis Hall. This is about Luke and Oliver, who absolutely do not get along, and they end up deciding to get into a fake relationship. And that's all I want to tell you guys about this book, because if you want to know more, go check out my reading vlog, because I go a little bit more in depth on there and with what I'm feeling about the book. But I will tell you, I did give this book 3 stars and did enjoy it. That is it for this video. I read, as you saw, quite a bit of books this month, and I'm hoping to get to a lot more next month and have better ratings for my books, because these okay ratings are just, they start putting me into a reading slump, and I do not want that for the end of the year and then the beginning of January. But yeah, so as I said in the beginning, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. And as always, keep on reading, people. Bye!